Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming and joining for day 21. Today we will be doing a hatha type of yin vinyasa. Bear with me. We will be holding the poses, but we will be flowing through. We will be having more of some traditional hatha poses, simply because they are so connected with the immune system. As I continue to speak, come into your natural breath, come into your space, close your eyes, shake your body out, whatever you need. Find yourself sitting still. If you need a blanket to lift or a pillow, something to lift your hips. If it's difficult or uncomfortable, sit against the wall. Adjust your seating in any way that you need. Have a few blocks or books nearby. Have a strap or something to help pull you deeper into the positions. We are going to do some pretty intense pranayama for the first 15 minutes. We will be moving as well. But starting off with just feeling those 3 different parts of the breath of the body. First, starting in the belly, dropping the diaphragm down. Imagine the diaphragm just sinks. And as it drops down, as you inhale, feel the expansion and start to imagine this circular orb, a balloon in your belly. And feel that continuous expansion. That is the pump. That is what's keeping the rest of the respiratory system charged. So staying with that belly, keeping the shoulders still, keeping the ribs and the side body relatively still as well. And when you're ready, we're going to start to move into the second, which is directly into the rib cage. So inhaling, nice big balloon. Keep it lifting, rib cage expands, and drop it down. Again, rib cage empties, balloon empties. Feel that wave. So again, belly expands, rib cage, and exhale. And forcefully do it both with your mind and with pressure. Keeping the shoulders down, away from the ears with every inhale. Lifting the spine, lengthening the body, feeling space being created between each vertebrae. And into the third part of the body, so the clavicular, thoracic, and eventually into the cavities of the face, the crown of the head. When you're ready, continue that wave deep into the balloon in your belly, expanding into the barrel in your rib cage. Continuing to open into the top spaces of your upper body, and then exhale, close. Just as a flower closes at nighttime, feel the petals closing in the crown of your skull, decreasing the space in your rib cage and completely deflating the balloon in your belly. Keep that flow of breath throughout the practice today. If, of course, you need to change your legs, feel free to do so. Make sure you're balanced in the hips. We'll come into our first bit of movement, still with breathing, and integrating pranayama into these first introductory neck, shoulder, and hip openers as well. When you're ready, let's just have 3 breaths with movement. So exhaling, arms off of the knees, inhaling, arms coming up, fingers wide, fingers spread apart from each other, opening the eyes of the elbows, the wrists, shoulders down, and feel the armpit stretching, biceps lengthening, shoulder blades dripping down the spine. Touch the tips of the fingers and exhale. Palms are now facing downwards, still everything stretching.
making sure you're not one off and one on, or one arm is bent, really feeling your mind in the tips of your fingers. And again, once the fingers touch the ground, inhale, palms now facing up, shoulders down, eyes of the elbows open, touching the tips of the fingers at the top of the head. And exhale again. Each breath, each movement becomes subsequently slower than the last, deeper than the last. And when you're ready, last one, inhaling up. Remember the balloon in your belly, the barrel in your ribs, the places in your faces. And as we exhale, palms facing downwards, let's stop halfway when our arms come to a T-shaped position. Let's hold here just for a moment. Palms facing upwards, and lengthen, strengthen, stretch every part of your body. And when you're ready, bending the left hand, left fingers touching the right temple. Find that sweet spot. Put a bit of a pressure point in there, turning the palms to face downwards, and exhale. Again, nice straight arm. Feel the muscles lengthening. Tent the fingers if they are able to come to the ground, or plant the palm once you've found space for your arm. And again, if it doesn't reach comfortably down, have your block or book or something there to support, so you're not misaligning the rest of the core of your body. And once you found your spot, exhale, chin into the chest, and feel how such a very simple, subtle movement has such a drastically powerful effect on the body. Follow where the muscles are going. Chin comes down 3 times, nice and slowly. And inhaling up, same thing to the opposite side, fingers into the temple. Exhaling, palm facing down, planting or tenting the fingers or palms. And exhale, chin to the chest, nice and slowly, really feeling the breath, the barrel in your lung, your rib cage, the balloon in your belly. Oxygen is a life changer, literally. So we are now experiencing a life-changing moment, literally. On your next inhale, let's come up, arms out to the side, again, palms facing upwards. Inhale, bringing both hands to the back of the head. We want to interlace the fingers so that they come just to the back of the head. And you might even want to give a little massage into the neck. Otherwise, exhale, bring the elbows together. And we're going to round just the top spine, so just the cervical spine, the first 7 vertebrae. So keeping them nice and tall, and even, I might say, introducing a slight back bend in the lower lumbar regions of the spine. Not over-exaggerating it, but simply to counteract what's happening above. So exhale, first bring the elbows in, chin into the chest. Keep the rest of the body lifting, and bring the chin down. Start to roll until you can roll no more. Once you find your shoulders really stretching out, let's stay there for 5 deep breaths. Continuing to lift in the lower lumbar vertebrae and spine, and drop down in the upper cervical spine. And inhale, arms out to the side, and open them into cactus arms. I'm adjusting just, of course, so you can get the different demonstration positions, but stay where you are. In cactus arms here, make sure that you are very symmetrical. Make sure you're not, again, all wonky off. Yoga is very much coming into your proprioceptive space. It is primarily a breathing practice, but it's also finding where we are in our bodies and in the zones and places in which our body occupies. Just going to turn to the left and the right here, and then we're going to do a breathing activity with it. So holding up a little bit here already, you'll start to feel the force of gravity working against you. Use your mind to
Keep your arms up, not your muscles. Keep the shoulders dropping down. Now we're going to have a Viloma Pranayama here. So that's the staircase breath. And we're going to do it as we twist out, or as we turn our head out to the side and then to the opposite side. So as we inhale, we're going to look to the side. And as we exhale, we're going to come back. Now the staircase breath, I will not demonstrate for you today because my hands are up here. If this is your first time, I will guide you through the first round. I will demonstrate in the next round. And again, if you feel lightheaded, bring your head down, come into a child's position. Any type of breath work will bring an inevitable lightness into the body. So when you're ready, we're going to start to turn to the left. Inhale, stop, and hold the breath. Inhale, turn, stop, hold. Turn, inhale, stop, hold. Turn, inhale, stop, hold. Once you've hit your capacity, we'll do the same thing in reverse. So turn, exhale, stop, hold the breath. Turn, exhale, stop, hold the breath. Turn, exhale, stop, hold the breath. Keep your arms working up. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Feel that heat you're generating. So I will demonstrate as we do the opposite side now. So inhale, as I demonstrate. Good. Now one big inhale, arms out, stretch. Count how many seconds it is. If it's 3 seconds, now hold the arms out and hold the breath for 3 seconds. And slowly exhale, come into a hug for twice as long. So it could be 6 or 8 or 10. Hugging the arms into the shoulder, rounding down, and then again hold for the same amount of time that your exhale was. So if it was 5 seconds, hold for 5. If it was 6, 7, 8, etc. I will demonstrate on the next one. So notice which arm is on top. We'll do the other arm. Inhaling. Hold. Exhale twice as long. Through the nose. Grasp onto the shoulders and hold the breath. Bring the chin into the chest. Same amount of time as your exhale. Good. And now nice deep breath. Very good. You see the difference in the body? See how powerful that is? Inhale, arms up, elbows, arms into the elbows. Bit of that picture frame sensation. Just kind of wiggle into this. Let the shoulder blades still drip down the back. And then let's exhale. Bring the right hand into the elbow a little bit more. Let the left hand drop down and lean to the side as we exhale. All of our movements connected with the breath. Inhale as we lift, changing elbows. Exhale as we fall to the opposite side. Very good. Inhaling up, bring those arms into that picture frame type of position again. And now arms out to the side, palms facing upwards, left arm coming over the front of the chest, right arm coming to support and tug. You'll remember this from a traditional kind of sports warm-up practice. And just let that arm bounce a little bit. And same thing on the other side. Inhale as we open, do the other arm. Exhale, coming forward, using your own limbs as points of leverage to deepen the stretch. In lieu of me or another teacher being there, you can supplement, of course. Inhale out to the side. Exhale, palms facing down. Interlace the fingers behind you. We're going to start to lift the arms, drop the shoulders again. Always visualize that the shoulder blades are dropping
bleeding, dripping down the spine. We're going to exhale, forward fold here. And we'll do so with a nice straight back. So folding from the waist until you can fold no more. And once you've hit your capacity, then you can start to round that upper spine. Bring the chin into the chest and let the weight of the body drop down a little bit more. We're going to hold this for 5 deep breaths. 4. 3. 2. 1. 0 is still a number. And 0. Inhale, slowly dropping the hands down, keeping the chin tucked in until the very last moment. And then slowly letting the shoulders come back. Release the hands. You can let the hands shake out. Do a little chicken dance. Whatever you kind of feel comes into your body. You can turn side to side a little bit if you like. And we're going to do a little bit of a reverse spinal lift. So bring the hands behind you, fingers pointing away from you. And inhaling, lift. We really want to squeeze your bum, hips pointing forward. Forgot to mention more about your palms. Always keep your palms wide open. And that first knuckle of that first pointing finger, that's what takes the weight of your body. So here, although we're not really able to see our hands, we need to be able to feel where we are in space. So even though your mind and your eye cannot see, press into your hand. And actually, it's wonderful practice starting to visualize where we are in our body. Close your eyes, really, really pushing forward here. Now, we've got major arteries rushing down into our legs. And if you've had a good noix de borarne, which is, of course, a Thai massage, of which, yes, madame and monsieur, je suis certified practitioner. But if you've had a good sort of lock, and when Thai practitioners lock your limbs, they block that circulatory passage. And when they let it back in, you feel that rush of hot blood coming back into your lungs or into your body after they've been in your freshly oxygenated lungs. So breathing deeply here. Now, you may have come down already. We're really trying to push this because we're going to come into our first yin position now. So exhale slowly, and you feel that. You feel the temperature change. You feel the systems of the body waking up. You feel the tingling sensation. Again, no expectation, no judgment, just observing what's happening in the body and taking the seat of the observer. Our first yin position will be a butterfly. So the soles together. Keep your block near your back because we're coming there in just a moment. We're actually going to do 2 positions together. So the legs are going to stay here for both positions. Unless, of course, if at any time you feel discomfort, pain, come out of the pose. If you've had surgery or injuries of the past, listen to your body. Your body's your teacher. I am here as your mere guide. Otherwise, we are going to come into a forward fold for 3 minutes in this butterfly position. Now, if you, for whatever reason, don't feel comfortable, you can extend the legs out a little bit. Try that. Gives a bit of a, if you've got knee tension, maybe the butterfly's a bit tight. You can also, of course, start to put blocks or pillows under your legs, anything to help prop up and just kind of relieve that stress and pressure that's happening on your knees. Otherwise, as I was saying, bring them out into a bit of a
more shallow angle, and that's the diamond position. You'll feel where that stretch changes. And again, if that's really not happening, come into a regular Paschimottanasana, legs straight out, wherever you find yourself. And if that as well doesn't work, put your legs up the wall. You can't go wrong with a traditional legs up the wall. Already, I feel it. It's amazing. Okay, so variety of positions here. We do want to try to open the hips, so having the legs in your butterfly position. So it will be 3 minutes from now. So take a minute. Well, you've taken your minute as I've been talking. So, and of course, feel like you can come out of it anytime you need. Now, in our yin position, we want to find our edge. The edge is not your full capacity. It is about 70% of where you would really feel that strain. You can even give a bit of a test, right? And there's different kinds of muscle movements, the resistance, and when it's alone. And so don't really painfully angle it down. This is a yin practice. Yin is a gentle, soft, subtle, accepting, transformative energy that flows through the body. If we try to integrate that forceful yang type of energy, inherently there will be a clash. That's 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen. So keep your breath moving, that wave, not only in your internal organs, the diaphragm expanding, the barrel of the ribs extending, the thoracic clavicular face spaces, vibrating out into a greater energy field. The deeper your breath, the more in control, the more in contact you are with your body. And there is an old adage to say, the one who masters the breath, indeed the universe or the multiverse, I will bow down. Because of course it is the one thing that connects us to the body, to the cosmos. The definition of the word yog, or yoga in English, is of course union. That's 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So even after the first minute, we ought to have felt the chemical releases coming into the body, the phase change as we melt into that deep fascia tissue, going beyond those macro muscles of the traditional musculoskeletal system, and getting into the connective tissue that holds the integrity of your body together. Fascia are like sheets of spider web, and they're not all lined up in a uniform sort of grid-like fashion. They are mesh types of interwoven patterns going in a variety of angles and directions and shapes and sizes and textures and functions. And they're even saying that the quality of the fascia can change depending on your mental state. It can be more durable, a little bit harder, more fluid, more gel-like, more brittle. That is our 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So feel very old, very stiff as you come up. Keep your chin down. Again, roll back onto the spine. And then let the vertebrae come up one by one. The chin stays down. Last thing to come up is the chin and the shoulders. So lifting, lifting. And once you do come up, roll the shoulders up and back a few times down the spine. And, oh, look what's there, a little block. So again, have a little test. You want to have the block just about where your hands were when we came into those reverse lifts. Okay? So if the hands or the heel of the hands are about there, you can start to lower yourself down. And again, if this is your first time, small, medium, large, high, medium, low, I like that really deep, forceful, get that energy out of your 14-hour day at the computer back position. And of course, if you don't have a block, use a rolled up towel, anything that's going to just lift your heart center forward. The heart, we think, at least in Western society, and again, we're going to hold this baby for 3 minutes.
So let's do it from now. And in Western physiology and anatomy, we're kind of programmed somehow to, just a minute, I'll get there in a second. Inhale, bring your arms up. Feel the shoulder blades kind of squeezing, or feel the really nice places. Right, and if you're, don't do what I'm doing, of course, you want to have this block already set up. So this block can also act as a balance if you need for the neck, if you've got any issues. Otherwise, try to let the neck just kind of be free. It also activates some of the muscles, stretches out the skin of the throat, which of course counteracts the effects of time and gravity, which is what makes us turn into wrinkly melting candles. And once you're here, just breathe. So as I was saying, and that's a minute. That's what a minute feels like. So breathing deeply. And again, just as we have those layers of fascia within the body, we do have quite a few different layers of muscle going on here in the back. So really just try to make sure you're comfortable. If you're not, come out of this. But why this is important is because we spend our whole day hunched forward. We spend our whole day at computers, over children, over the stove, in a garden, over a welding, over driving. You know, whatever we're doing, we are leaning forward. So we need to counteract that lifestyle that we have created. And as I was saying, Western physiology and anatomy has tended to view the heart and the lungs and everything from the front of the body, which, again, we are the only mammal that walks upright bipedal on two legs and has all of our vulnerable parts that can kill us with one blow at the front open center of our body. Everything else has their protection. We have this inherent vulnerability to the way that our bodies have evolved. And so as we sit in this position for another 30 seconds, know that the heart is not here so much as it is through the back of your body. As you breathe deeply into the belly, feeling now the drawing down into the pelvic floor, know that the lungs are mostly in the back body. So even though we're in a back bend, it's easier to focus in a front bend, but even though we're in a back bend, focus on inhaling into the back quadrants of your body. And that is what Telata de Daquica feels like, ladies and gentlemen. So 3 minutes. When you're ready, very gently, we're going to feel old. You might even want to take your hands up and, again, bring your elbows together and slowly lift that cervical spine, chin into the chest. And this actually gives a really nice extra little place. If you've got your block just in that, oh yeah, just in the right spot. And again, you know, you can play with this. You can stay here for as long as you need. This is only a 60-minute practice. But of course, you can extend it to be just as long as you frankly need it. So as we prepare to inhale, let's come up, releasing the block. We're going to keep a bit of a counter pose. Now, opening the legs. Again, I'm angling myself just so you can see me. And counter pose all the way forward. Okay, so again, we're not going to stay here for quite as long, but we're still going to hang here for about a minute. Whether the hands come to the knees, the shins, the ankles, the toes. Whether the head is kind of hovering around here. And again, you can have a pillow, a bolster, all kinds of different things. Oh, sorry, monkey. You could have a little puppy. You can have something just kind of hanging here or holding you here, creating a bit of traction for you. I like to just hang. Just let it all hang out, see what happens naturally. That's when the good popping comes. That's when those creations of spaces kind of come. I mean,
There's nothing wrong with the Iyengar based props. And in fact, they often deepen our positions, but also it's nice to just be in the space without the pressure and let the limbs flail down, let the gravity work on your body, getting heavy. And again, breathing. Now breathe into the upper backs of your lungs. You feel how open that is after you've had that pressure in there. Isn't that wonderful? And if this is just not doing it for you, if you're like, straddle Paschimottanasana, been there, done that, you can take it to the next level, my friends. You can come into a Paschimottanasana straddle Halasana. So of course, you would just maybe put a bit of a, I guess I'll go this way. So the legs would come up, they're still open, and bringing them down. Of course, it's a bit difficult to talk, but essentially it's the same position. Okay, so, oops, sorry, monkey. I'm glad I remembered you there, my little friend. We're going to take one more breath here. And when you're ready, again, slowly tilting back the hips, keeping the chin into the chest. First coming up, rolling vertebrae by vertebrae in the lumbar region of the spine. And then higher up, keeping the chin down, shoulders down, shoulder blades melting down the vertebrae of your spine. And of course, this whole kind of mid-range, mid-rib range area, these are the strongest parts of our body, or rather they're holding the most weight of all the body. So they really need a good workout. They really feel a lot of stress and tension. They're not only holding the weight, the physical weight of the body, but the weight of responsibility of survival. Like, look what's here. Heart, lungs, that's some important stuff. You can cut off your legs, you can cut off your arms, you will still live a full, happy life. It is the core of the body that needs that circulation. Okay, coming into the legs. So bringing the heel into the groin, tucking into the perineum or perineum, depending on your tongue. Turning the upper torso to the folded leg. And again, if you need any support, such as the wall, the bolster pillows, feel free. Inhale, arms up, shoulders down, eyes at the elbows open, tips of the fingers touching. And exhale, arms up to the side, palms facing up. And then slowly start to lean. So we're still facing forward, but leaning. And then drop the hands when they find the toes, the knee, the ankle, whatever they find. And maybe the elbow comes into the knee. Keep pushing open. Maybe the shoulder comes into the knee. Keep pushing open. So a couple of different sensations here. We're pushing open, lifting up, and rolling over. Let this be the last one and come all the way down or as far as you can. And then exhale, turning the torso to be on top of the thigh, knee towards the nose, and exhale. Let's hold this just for 1 or 2 breaths of transition. And just to complete the twist, if your right leg is out, let's now take our left hand on the outside of the right ankle and continue to push out into a twist, nice and low. Oh, yeah. And then start to straighten the back hand, the back arm rather. Okay? So really just turning back to get the full range of motion. And then reverse exhale, sweeping the spine and the upper torso back so the chest is on the thigh. And once we're here, then lifting back, reversing the whole sequence, sunrise, arms, planting the palm behind you, fingers pointing away from you, and counter pose, lifting the opposite arm, and really trying to make round shoulder, moving from the shoulder, really making round rotations with our limbs, and straight foot
toe pointing down, nice long body, pushing your hips forward, squeeze your bum. And exhale, come down. Very good. Let's fold the leg over into a a reverse pigeon position. Just play with that for a moment, just to experiment. Okay, we're not going to come into a fold here. This is just a bit of a preparation. So maybe even here we can start to do some circles with the knee, opening up the hip. And of course, you could even come into a bit of a rocking baby, kind of just opening. Oh, nice and slowly, little baby. So sorry, that was too fast. And really breathing, opening. And when you're ready, let's drop the foot down. So toes on the outside of the knee, keeping that nice line. Breathing very deeply. Feel the heat in the core of the body.